Kirn Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @QuenReview. That is @CuendReview. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@quenreview.com. That is INFORMATION @CuendReview.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast is published on Wednesday the 19th of February 2025 and is read to you by volunteers Corey, Hunter, Ian, Jahan, Nikki and Philip. And we hope you enjoy the podcast. Bid to rescue celebration after festival is cancelled. Report by Liam Smiley. Business leaders have vowed to step in and lead a bid to create a new community festival in Kirkintilloch after the town's popular Canal Festival was cancelled. The annual flagship event, which celebrates Kirkintilloch's historic connections with canals and waterways, will no longer go ahead after Eastern Bartonshire Council said it could no longer afford to fund the event. The decision to cancel the popular festival, centred around the town's popular marina and Forth and Clyde Canal, was actually included in the council's budget in March last year. But most people only became aware of the deeply upsetting cancellation following an update in December. A petition was launched to try to save the event, which is one of the tourism highlights of the year, generating a valuable economic boost for the area. Now the Kirkintilloch BID, Business Improvement District, which represents around 150 local businesses, is leading a campaign to create a new event in the town to bring the community together. The business organisation is backing calls by residents for Kirkintilloch to have its own flagship community event. The Kirkintilloch BID is seeking to explore what external funding can be secured to ensure the town has a community festival to look forward to this summer. The group is rallying local business owners to work with community groups, the council and local politicians to develop plans for an alternative festival. The Kirkintilloch BID is now planning an emergency community meeting in the coming weeks to bring the people in the town together and launch the bid for a new community festival. A spokesperson for the Kirkintilloch BID said, "We want to galvanise the local community to ensure a similar event goes ahead this summer, such as a community festival. The festival, in its current form, may have been cancelled. However, that doesn't mean we can't take this as an opportunity to build something new, something sustainable, and something that keeps the heart of the event alive." The spokesperson added, "This Canal Festival was a much-loved annual event which showed Kirkintilloch at its finest, while being a key driver for the local economy and attracting tourists to the area. Many local businesses had already started planning for this event and were relying on the income that the event generated. To cancel the festival now is a major blow to the community and business. We are determined to do everything we can to ensure there is still a date in the calendar for everyone in Kirkintilloch to look forward to. We are in talks with the council to get a breakdown of the event plans to see what external funding we can get to start planning for a new community festival. Plans are also underway to organise an emergency community meeting to formulate a plan of action. We are reaching out to anyone in the area who can help with funding or ideas to come forward." The Canal Festival features a packed programme of music, boat rides and fairground attractions. The event is attended by thousands, handing a major boost to local shops, cafes, bars and hotels in the area. Eastern Bartonshire Council, which runs the popular event, has decided to withdraw funding for the event after no external funding was identified. Anne Davey, Chief Executive of Eastern Bartonshire Council, said, "The Council continues to work with a range of local organisations and businesses, including Kirkintilloch BID and Mulgai BID, providing assistance where possible against a challenging financial backdrop to help sustain and strengthen local communities and the economy. In explaining the decision to end support, Ms Davey previously said the council hoped to find funding to support the festival again in future years. For the festival to take place in future, external funding to cover the full cost of £120,000 would need to be secured, and done so in enough time to plan its delivery, she said. Unfortunately, external funds weren't available for 2025. While the event will not go ahead this year, we will continue working to identify relevant external funding opportunities for future years. And that report was written by Liam Smiley and read by me, Ian McKenna. This week in history. February the 20th, 1985. Contraceptives were first sold in the Irish Republic. On this day last year, the preferred crown symbol of King Charles III replaced Queen Elizabeth II's chosen insignia on the UK government's website. February 21st, 1965. American black Muslim leader Malcolm X was shot dead while addressing a meeting in New York. On this day last year, thousands of junior doctors across Wales began another round of strike action, demanding a credible pay offer from the Welsh Government. February 22nd, 1972, an IRA bomb killed 7 people at Aldershot Barracks. On this day last year, Liz Truss told the Conservative Political Action Conference that the world needs a Republican back in the White House, but stopped short of directly endorsing Donald Trump. February 23rd, 1953, an amnesty offered by the government to Second World War deserters brought in applications for more than 3,000 servicemen and 14 servicewomen. February 24th, 1938, a nylon toothbrush, the first commercial nylon product, went on sale in New Jersey. On this day last year, Rishi Sunak joined other world leaders in reaffirming support for Ukraine on the second anniversary of Russia's invasion, vowing to back Kyiv until they prevail.
Scottish Labour leader praises new councillor as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. Scottish Labour leader Anna Sarwar visited Kirkintilloch on Friday to congratulate the party's new councillor. Mr Sarwar praised Aidan Marshall and insisted his victory in the Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker by-election was a clear indication that people were turning against the SNP. He claimed the SNP vote completely collapsed and it was clear that the SNP had lost their way. People want a new direction for our country and that can only be delivered by Scottish Labour in May 2026. Speaking about Aidan, Mr Sarwar was confident that he would be a fantastic councillor who was well known in his local community and committed to his local community. Aidan will fight really hard for local people here every single day, he said. He's got a bright future ahead of him, but right now he's going to get sworn into the council, get straight to work delivering for local people and using this as a platform for us to ensure we have success in the Scottish Parliament election next year.
Aidan wins by-election, a report by Kevin McRoberts. Scottish Labour's new councillor for Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker has vowed to work tirelessly to try to secure better public services for the local community. Aidan Marshall came out on top in Thursday's by-election, which was triggered by the resignation of Liberal Democrat Susan Murray following her election as MP for Mid Dumbartonshire in last year's UK general election. Despite a low turnout of just 26.2%, Aidan was a clear winner, achieving over 200 more preference votes than second-placed Serena Marshall of the SNP. Speaking after the declaration of the result, Aidan said, "I'm delighted. It's an honour and privilege that the people of this community have put their trust in me to work tirelessly for them in the next few years." This is the area where I grew up and went to school, and I've worked in the high street here for a good few years, so I know the local issues. I know the priorities of the people here, and it's an honour to be given the opportunity to work hard for them. Aidan said people felt let down and years of local government cuts, adding, "Public services are not running as well as they should, particularly here in terms of buses. Our village communities have been let down. Hopefully, now that I have been placed here, I can work constructively with colleagues across the chamber and with our really great Labour team and our Member of Parliament to try to secure the high-quality public services our communities deserve." The by-election was contested by 8 candidates. However, out of the 12,319 people eligible to vote, only 3,228 bothered to do so. The result of the East Dunbartonshire Council Ward 7 by-election is as follows. Marthos Christophorou, Scottish Liberal Democrats, 677. Eamon Gallagher, Alba, 63. Satbir Carr Gill, Conservative, 131. Bruce Hampton, Reform, 476. Aidan Marshall, Labour, 958. Alan McManus, Sovereignty, 18. Elizabeth Rowan, Greens, 128. The figures stated are the number of first preference votes. The election was conducted under the single transferable vote system. Aidan Marshall was elected at stage 8. And that article was written by Kevin McRoberts and read by me, Nikki.
Fears over police plans for closures by Julie Curry. A local politician is calling for a rethink on the closure of police stations in East Dunbartonshire. Susan Murray, Mid Dunbartonshire MP, wants assurances that, should offices close in Milngavie and Bishopbriggs, an effective policing service will continue. Police Scotland announced in late 2023 that the police stations in Milngavie and Bishopbriggs were under consideration for closure. No further announcements have been made since the consultation phase began, when it was stated that alternative solutions were being considered. Police Scotland said it was considering closing police stations to improve visibility and accessibility, and to make its services more efficient. It also stressed that it wanted to ensure the buildings were safe, functional and sustainable. Critics fear that reducing the police presence in the local area could increase emergency response times and put public safety at risk. Others argue that Police Scotland's officers are no longer tied to working from police buildings, so even if the stations close, they can be more present in the communities they serve. Susan said, "Local police stations are not just symbols of the police in our communities. They also provide a vital set of administrative and welfare facilities for officers and staff. Closing the stations in Milngavie and Bishopbriggs will mean lost time, as officers are forced to spend more time travelling, with a negative knock-on effect on local policing and less efficient use of police time and resources. If these stations must close, alternative provision must be made for police officers, particularly in the west of Mid Dunbartonshire, so that they can continue to do their jobs effectively." At the time of the consultation launch in December 2023, the local police commander for Greater Glasgow stressed that the number of operational police officers in East Dunbartonshire would not be reduced if the local offices closed. Police Scotland consulted the public on the proposals, but the feedback has not yet been issued. That article was written by Julie Curry and it was read by Jahan.
Donations to Women's Aid. Ross Greer has thanked everyone who donated to his annual festive gift appeal for Eastern Bartonshire Women's Aid. Donations dropped off at his Milngavie office included dozens of toys, clothes, gifts for mums, as well as hundreds of pounds in cash and vouchers. The Green MSP said, "It was heartwarming to see so many people in our community give generously to the appeal once again. I am glad that those struggling the most in our community were able to unwrap presents on Christmas Day as a result of their neighbours' generosity. Eastern Bartonshire Women's Aid do incredible work all year round, and the annual gift appeal is an important part of the service they provide. I was particularly pleased to see so many gifts for teenagers this year, following EDWA's encouragement to make sure they are not forgotten. Eastern Bartonshire Women's Aid provides refuge, information support services for women, children and young people in the Eastern Bartonshire area who have experienced or who are currently experiencing domestic abuse. They offer refuge accommodation across the local authority area, as well as running an information and support service in Kirkintilloch and an outreach service in Milngavie and Bearsden. Eastern Bartonshire Women's Aid can be contacted on their support line 0141 776 0864. For more information, visit www.edwa.org.uk.
Don't Keep Quiet About Possible Financial Harm by Kevin McRoberts. Residents across Eastern Bartonshire are being asked to be alert to vulnerable adults in their communities who are susceptible to financial harm. Adult Support and Protection Day takes place tomorrow, Thursday, February 20th, and Eastern Bartonshire Health and Social Care Partnership is urging everyone to report any concerns to ensure those in need are able to access support. Financial harm can cover theft, fraud, and pressure to sign over property or money. It also relates to rogue traders, online scammers, and misuse of benefits. People can be at increased risk to be harmed financially through various factors such as ill health, trauma, and physical or mental health conditions. It can happen anywhere, in someone's home, where they work, or in a public place, and is often caused by the people closest to them. It can even happen in places responsible for keeping someone safe, such as a care home, hospital, or day centre. It's important to speak up about any concerns you have, as the person may not be able to do so themselves. Councillor Callum Smith, Chair of Eastern Bartonshire Health and Social Care Partnership, said, "We are pleased to support Adult Support and Protection Day and be part of the campaign to shine a light on the crime of financial harm. Many older and more vulnerable adults rely heavily on others for help with daily tasks and activities and trust others to look out for them. This makes them open to manipulation and harm from those who would seek to exploit their vulnerabilities. Unpalatable as it is, we know it happens in our communities, but we are able to tackle it and protect those who need our help if everyone is alert to the possibilities. It is never easy to speak up, but if you do have a concern, please tell us. We will listen." Brenda Walker, National Adult Support and Protection Coordinator for Scotland, added, "It can be difficult to know what to do when you're worried about someone, and you might feel that you don't want to interfere. However, reporting your concerns could really help to keep someone safe and turn their life around. The current cost of living crisis is making it even more difficult for those who are looking after others or struggling to take care of themselves, so it's more important right now than ever to keep your eyes open for signs of harm. Everyone has a role to play in keeping those in their communities safe, so I would encourage anyone who has seen something that worries them to please say something." In Eastern Bartonshire, if you're worried that someone is at risk of harm or neglect from others, or harming and neglecting themselves, please contact the Social Work Service. You can call on 0141 355 2200 or 0300 343 1501 out of hours. If you prefer, you can send an email to social-work@eastdumbarton.gov.uk. Alternatively, you can call the police on 101. If you believe the person is in immediate danger, call 999. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Love was in the air at Asda Bishopbriggs on Valentine's Day, as grocery section colleague Ian Fitzgerald and produce section colleague Gail Fitzgerald marked 16 years together. The couple first met while working at the store in 2009, after marrying in 2013 and welcoming their son in 2016. The couple have shared a special journey working together at Asda. Gail said, "Ian and I started as colleagues, but our connection grew over time into something deeper. Now, years later, we're married and raising our son Tom together. We still cheer each other on every step of the way, and if it wasn't for Asda Bishopbriggs, we never would have crossed paths." The store was also spreading the love on Valentine's Day with a heartwarming community tea party, organised by community champion Lorraine MacDonald in collaboration with local charity FACTS. The event aimed to bring people together and help those who might be facing loneliness and isolation, such as elderly and single parents. Lorraine said Valentine's Day is a time to celebrate love, but it can also be a difficult day for some. That's why this year we've decided to do something special in store. We were delighted to welcome everyone for a heartwarming Valentine's Day tea party in our tea room, all in support of the local charity FACTS. As well as tea and coffee, there were delicious sweet treats and great company. Proceeds from the event will help fund family activities and community events. Thank you to everyone who came along to spread the love. Funding to tackle violence. Local MSP Rona Mackay has welcomed the news that two organisations in East Dumbartonshire tackle violence against women and girls are set to share in a funding uplift. East Dumbartonshire Women's Aid will receive £102,231 and East Dumbartonshire Association for Mental Health will receive £109,879. They are two of more than 100 organisations across Scotland to benefit from the Delivering Equally Safe initiative. Subject to the 2025-26 budget being approved, the Scottish Government will invest £21.6 million in the year ahead in Delivering Equally Safe, which funds projects to prevent violence and support survivors. Miss Mackay, SNP MSP for Strathkelvin and Bearsden, said, "Grassroots and organisations across my constituency are at the heart of tackling violence against women and girls. Their work is fundamental to creating a country free from gender-based abuse. This funding boost will support these organisations, will help prevent abuse occurring and ensure that women and girls who have experienced violence can continue to access the support they deserve. The Delivering Equally Safe Fund has supported organisations across Scotland in their work to tackle violence against women and girls since 2021. The project is the Scottish Government's funding programme to support third sector organisations and public bodies to contribute the Equally Safe strategy, Scotland's strategy to prevent and eradicate violence against women and girls."
Local History Month, a stroll down memory lane, a report by Julie Curry. History will be brought to life next month through a series of thought-provoking events being held to celebrate Local History Month. The programme, organised by East Dumbartonshire Leisure and Culture Trust in partnership with the area's heritage and history groups, will run from Sunday, March 1 to Saturday, March 29. Exhibitions and activities including walks, talks, exhibitions and discussions have been organised at venues across the area. Councillor Jim Gibbons, EDLC Trust Chairman, said, We're delighted to unveil the programme for this year's Local History Month, an annual event which offers a great opportunity to find out more about this area's fascinating past. I would urge everyone to get involved and find an event which appeals to them, whether that be exploring our industrial heritage, stepping back into the social history of our towns, or literally walking in the footsteps of our predecessors in one of the organised guided walks. Here we take a closer look at events in the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs area. 2 local libraries will be kick-starting the month-long programme on Saturday, March 1st. Readers are being invited to Bishopbriggs Library from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. when a display exploring how to research the history of your home will go on display. A mine of information for anyone interested in past occupants, original plans, or when their house was built. It will remain on display until Saturday, April 5. You can also enjoy a browse through Lennoxtown's shopping history thanks to Campsie Local History Group's engaging trail in the town. Explore historical photographs of the original shops, creatively displayed in the windows of today's modern storefronts. Lennoxtown Library will also launch its Shopping in Lennoxtown Memories of the Main Street display, open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on March 1 and remaining on show until March 31. Football fans are invited to Kirkintilloch Community Sports Complex on Tuesday, March 4 and Tuesday, March 11 from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for a guided tour of the grounds. It's a chance for fans to uncover the fascinating history of Kirkintilloch Robroy FC, one of the oldest Scottish junior clubs still in existence. Lindsay Library is a must on Saturday, March 8, when its Women in the Community Local History display will be launched, running from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. A unique opportunity to discover the inspiring stories of remarkable women who have shaped our community. The exhibition will run until Saturday, April 5. Local history archives will also be to the fore at Kirkintilloch's William Patrick Library on Saturday, March 8 from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m, when readers will be able to explore the archives and get a close-up view of some interesting historical documents. On Wednesday, March 12, the action moves to Lennoxtown Library and Community Hub from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for From Then to Now, Daily Life in East Dunbartonshire. Locals will be able to explore the local studies collection featuring books, newspapers, ephemera and photographs which together provide a window into the past and a glimpse of life in the area. A week later, on Wednesday, March 19, Kirkintilloch and District Society of Antiquaries will present Developing Lenzie by Design from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the Park Centre. Dominic D'Angelo, chairman of the Alexander Thomson Society, will discuss the work of Alexander Greek Thomson. Particular reference will be given to his early coastal villas at Cove and Kilcreggan, his late designs and posthumous work used in developing Dullator and Lenzie, carried out by his last partner Robert Turnbull and his architect successor, the unrelated David Thomson. From Then to Now, Daily Life in East Dunbartonshire will move to Bishopbriggs Library on Wednesday, March 26 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m, offering readers another chance to explore the local studies collection. The following day in the William Patrick Library, those interested in researching their own family history will be well catered for. Running from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m, this taster session will cover what resources and information you need to get started and what types of records you might find useful. And the programme will conclude with a beautiful morning walk, giving participants a chance to find out more about the area's mining history. Along the 2.5-mile route, the Eco Museum of Scottish Mining Landscapes will delve into our mining heritage, kicking off at 11 a.m. and ending at 1 p.m. at the Waterside Miners Club car park in Old Dunteblay Road. Those taking part in this circular route will learn much along the way. A number of other events are taking place across East Dunbartonshire as part of Local History Month. For the full programme and to reserve your space on events which need to be booked in advance, visit https://www.edlc.co.uk/heritage-arts/what's-on. And that report was by Julie Curry.
Celebrations at Tweaker School by Kevin McRoberts. Staff and pupils at Tweaker Primary have been congratulated following the school's recent Good Inspection report. As reported in the Herald earlier this month, the Primary School and Early Years Centre were visited by teams from Education Scotland and the Care Inspectorate, who found that the confident and enthusiastic pupils were well looked after in a nurturing and supportive environment. Evaluated on a number of quality indicators, the school was rated satisfactory in 2 categories and good in 2 other categories, while the Early Learning Centre was rated good across all categories. Councillor Linda Williamson, convener of the Council's Education Committee, met staff and pupils to congratulate them on their success. She said, "I was very pleased to visit Tweaker Primary and Early Years Centre to congratulate everyone at the school on their terrific inspection report. It was lovely to meet staff and pupils who worked so hard to achieve this result." The report contained great news for the whole school community, right from the early years, where young children learn through play, all the way through to the final years at primary school and the transition to secondary school. As the inspectors highlighted, the children are supported and nurtured, confident and enthusiastic. What a wonderful basis from which to continue to grow and progress. I'd like to extend my personal thanks to all. Very well done. Head teacher Mary Louise Brogan added, "We are delighted with our HMIE report for Tweaker Primary School and Early Years Centre. The report recognises that well-being is at the heart of everything we do to ensure the best outcomes for the children in our care. The strength of our partnership, working with a range of agencies and our parents and community, was evident throughout the inspection. As a hard-working staff team, we strive to put our children first and to deliver learning opportunities that are ambitious and give our children the opportunity to thrive. Key strengths of the school identified in the inspection report include the effective leadership of the acting head teacher, senior leaders and staff. They were found to have a strong vision and clear plan for achieving positive outcomes for children in the school and early learning centre. Effective collaboration with a wide range of partners was also noted, with senior leaders and staff working well with partners to support children to develop important skills and knowledge and experience success. The very positive relationships between staff and children in the school and early learning centre also came in for praise, while the children were found to be confident and enthusiastic and proud of their school and early learning centre. They were also keen to share and celebrate their successes and achievements. Deadline to apply, Parents and carers of children turning 3 between August 2025 and July 2026 are being reminded to apply for early learning and childcare places. The application process for places in the 2025-26 academic year is currently open, but is due to close on Friday, February 28th. Applications can be made online via East Dunbartonshire Council's website. Go to https://orlo.uk/QFH2F. The application process is for all children turning 3 in 2025-26 academic year and covers applications for sessions at local authority early years centres, as well as funding for sessions at funded provider early years centres and childminders. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Family announcements. Deaths. Kerr, William (Billy). Peacefully at home on February 1st, 2025, surrounded by his family after a long illness, fought with courage and dignity. Billy, adored husband of Karen, much-loved dad of Gillian and Fraser, loving father-in-law to Stuart and Dawn, and proud grandpa to Adam and Emily. Funeral at Bishopbriggs Crematorium on Thursday, February 20th, 2025 at 10 a.m. All family and friends invited. Mick Mahone, Margaret Ann. Peacefully on February 7th, 2025 at Glasgow Royal Infirmary. Beloved wife of the late John, a much-loved mum of Martin, and an adored granny of Isla and Freya. Fortified by the rites of Holy Church, RIP, reception and visual on Monday, March 3rd, 2025, at St Fallon's RC Church, Kirkintilloch for 6 p.m. Funeral Mass on Tuesday, March 4th at 10 a.m, thereafter to Old Isle Cemetery for 11:15 a.m.
Grey bin changes are rubbish, insists MP. A report by Kevin McRoberts. East Dunbartonshire Council's plans to move to a 3-weekly cycle for the collection of general household waste has been slammed by one of the area's MPs. Mid-Dunbartonshire's Liberal Democrat MP Susan Murray believes the council is wrong to be changing from the currently fortnightly emptying of grey bins. The changes are due to come into effect from Sunday, March 30. Susan said, moving to 3 weekly bin collections is a bad idea for families and households in East Dunbartonshire. I voted against this when I was a councillor. The SNP and Labour run the council and have argued this brings East Dunbartonshire in line with other councils, meaning that we will be as badly served as they are in other areas where those parties are in power. Mid-Dunbartonshire needs regular rubbish collections. Listening to the Liberal Democrats on the council and restoring 2 weekly general waste collections would be a good start. As reported in last week's Herald, there has been an angry response to the new bin collection arrangements, with comments in social media describing the move as a complete joke and utterly disgraceful. Many complained grey bin would be overflowing, adding to the risk of rubbish being dumped and attracting rats. However, some residents have supported the change, believing it will be positive, encouraging more recycling and leading to less waste going to landfill. Explaining the decision on its website, the council states, "We know from waste analysis that 64% of the average general grey waste bin is made up of items which could have been recycled instead. In particular, 31% of what is collected within the grey bins is food waste. By reducing the frequency of the collections, we aim to decrease the amount of general non-recyclable waste and instead drive up our food waste recycling rates. The Council adds it can provide advice and support to families who have difficulty managing with a single standard grey bin. This could involve identifying additional actions that could be taken to increase recycling or to make better use of the bin capacity. There will be no changes to the recycling collection, blue, brown, green and caddy services. This report was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Mum is the word. First Bus is offering the unique opportunity to show your mum how much you care this Mother's Day. The competition offers readers the chance to share an image of their mum, the reasons she's so loved, and a special message to celebrate her, which will be displayed on the advertising space on the side of selected buses in the city. Graham McFarlane, First Bus Scotland Commercial Director, said, "We are thrilled to launch this heartfelt campaign for Mother's Day. Chocolates and flowers are nice, but this is a unique chance to show your mum how much she means and give her something she'll never forget. To be in with a chance to surprise your mum with a gift she'll always remember, visit www.firstbus.co.uk/greater-glasgow/happy-mothers-day. Entries close on February the 24th.
As published on Wednesday the 19th of February 2025, Kirkintilloch Herald's letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD JNSCOTLAND.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Stop moaning about bins. Sir, as could have been predicted, there have been immediate complaints at the grey bin collections changing from 2 to every 3 weeks. While, for some such as young mums, having nappies to dispose of, this may well be problematic. For others though, from what I have seen, there is a fairly general lack of consideration for the council staff that have the unenviable task of emptying our bins with little or no thought by many given to how they should sort and properly recycle their waste. It defies comprehension that the could not care less principle of get rid of it and let the council deal with it probably explains how bins can be so full for some. Protecting the planet and leaving a worthwhile environmental legacy for generations to come, rather than our selfish present-day considerations, is up to us all for, if not, the repercussions may well be irreversible. Yours, etc., Jim Marshall, Bishopbriggs. In sickness and ill health, Sir, a doctors' union has warned the NHS will struggle to carry on without urgent reforms. But what reforms? Everyone tells us the problem, but nobody provides the solutions. Neil Gray, the Scottish Health Secretary, says the draft budget measures would mean quicker treatments and more GP appointments. Well then, that's okay, we don't need to worry any longer, problem solved. Or is it? We need to reduce the number of health boards, their staff, and all the wellness and equality managers that have been created, stop all hospitality and travel, and put the money into frontline care. Productivity is also a major problem. The NHS must save £10 billion per annum and then receive another £10 billion in funding to increase the number of beds and staff. Finally, if you use the NHS, You should make a contribution towards the cost. A plumber costs £80 for a call-out. How much for a life-saving ambulance? Yours, etc., James McIntyre. Address supplied. No real-world experience. Sir, out of curiosity, I looked up the two MPs, Andrew Gwynn and Oliver Ryan, who have just been suspended by the Labour Party on Wikipedia. Mr. Gwynn became a local councillor at the age of 21 in 1996, while studying for a BA in Politics and Contemporary History, and remained so until he entered Parliament in 2005. He has been an MP ever since. Mr. Oliver joined the Labour Party at the age of 15 in 2010 and became a local councillor at the age of 19 in 2014 while studying for a BA in Modern History with Politics. He then obtained a graduate diploma in law. He remained a local councillor until he stepped down in 2023 and entered Parliament the following year. These two gentlemen appear to follow a pattern that is sadly all too common in Westminster, in Holyrood and, I presume also, in the Senedd in Cardiff, with politicians of all of the established parties, teenage membership of a party, an arts degree, becoming a councillor or working for a parliamentarian, and then becoming a parliamentarian themselves. What is glaringly missing from the CVs of this type of parliamentarian is significant experience of the working in the world away from politics. Any real experience of business and commerce is inconceivable. Is it any wonder that the country is in such a mess when it is governed by such people? Yours, etc., Otto Inglis, by email. Admit mistake. Sir, Rachel Reeves assures us that the government support for the farmers is steadfast. Where was she last Monday? If she had looked out of her Whitehall window, she would have seen what the farmers think of that. She's acting a bit like an SNP politician. What she says is one thing, reality is another thing. Is no politician able to say they made a mistake? Yours, etc., Ken Curry, by email. Empty promises. Sir, so we're told by Shona Robinson that the SNP is planning consultation on council tax reform, though with no change implemented before the 2026 election, after we learn that half of Scottish homes are in the wrong council tax band. Really? The SNP pledged a complete overhaul of Scotland's local levy system in 2007, and absolutely nothing has happened yet. Don't hold your breath. Yours, etc., Martin Redfern, by email. And that was this week's letters page.
Harriet meets rock idol Rod, a report by Kevin McRoberts. A throwaway idea from kind-hearted staff at New Stobhill Hospital turned into the experiences of a lifetime for one of the patients. Harriet Rosansky, 74, has been a patient at the hospital for more than a year. She is such a fan of Rod Stewart, she listens to his CDs all the time, and the area around her bed is covered with pictures in tribute to her idol. Such is Harriet's love of the rock superstar, whose career has spanned more than 60 years and is packed with hits such as Sailing and Maggie May, that consultant geriatrician Dr. Anya McGovern and senior charge nurse Helena Connolly made it their mission to try to get Rod to record a video message of good wishes for her. However, thanks to the help of Chief Nurse John Stewart and the Celtic Foundation, Rod went one step further, and Harriet was invited to meet him at the Hospitality Suite in Celtic Park during last Wednesday night's Champions League fixture against German giants Bayern Munich. Dr. McGovern accompanied Harriet to her special meeting, and she said it was a wonderful occasion. She said, We just thought we would do something nice for a patient who has been with us for a while, but we had no idea our request would end up here. We're delighted to have been able to do this for Harriet, and seeing her face when she met her lifelong idol is something that I will never forget. Rod was so lovely with her, and the fact he took the time to share a song and a dance with Harriet was the icing on the cake for her. I would like to thank John Stewart, Helena Connolly, and everyone else who did so much to make this possible, especially the Celtic Foundation. Dr. McGovern admitted that while Harriet is an East End girl who grew up in the shadow of Celtic Park, she wasn't too interested in the football being played on the hallowed turf outside the hospitality suite. I don't think I would care either, she said. I mean, after waiting all these years to meet the man of your dreams, there would be more important things on your mind than football. That report was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Garden waste permits now available. Householders in East Dunbartonshire can now apply for garden waste permits for 2025 green bin collections. The annual charge of £50 per green bin entitles the household to 19 fortnightly collections from March to November. A garden waste permit must be displayed in order for the green bin to be emptied. Permits can be applied for online at www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk/garden-waste-collection. Alternatively, call customer services on 0300 123 4510 or visit one of the community hubs. Permits can take up to 14 days to arrive. Councillor Paul Ferretti said, "The introduction of the charge for this non-statutory service in 2024 has allowed us to retain a garden waste collection services. Residents who choose not to apply for a permit can continue to dispose of garden waste at Mavis Valley Recycling Centre free of charge."
Good day, it's Philip here again. Great to be back in Scotland after my wee trip to Australia. And it was good to meet up with some of you last week at the forum, to meet you face to face. And I enjoyed my time there and it was an experience. But I'm not here to talk about me, I'm here to talk about the church news in the Kirkintilloch Herald. And first of all, we are going to Torrance Parish Church. The morning service in person is at 10:30 a.m, conducted by the Reverend Stuart Irvin. During the service, the youngsters meet together in Crest, Junior Church and Frog, which I have reminded you before is Friends of God. To join the service online, just go to torranceparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday 9 till 12 noon for teas, coffees and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? The Boys Brigade meet on Wednesdays between 7 and 9 p.m, P7 to S6. To find out about regular weekly activities, check the website for the What's On at www.tpc.org.uk. And that's Torrance Parish Church. Never going to Milton Campsie. And there's a really good picture of the minister there, Julie, from Milton Campsie, because last Sunday they focused on Jesus, the light of the world. Pictured in the paper is the minister, one of many who sent in photographs with a light, and Julie's got a light on her head. Next Sunday is Jesus the Gate and Jesus the Good Shepherd. Send us a photograph of yourself at a gate. Following on from the great garden bird watch, we are ready to start another one to a penny on Sunday, 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. We'll be making bird feeders, decorating wooden bird cutouts, using feather quills. That should be interesting. Singing, playing games, and of course eating birthday shortbread. That's interesting. And the Minister Julie is now interim moderator at St David's Parish Church in Kirkintilloch, and we begin with union negotiations with Campsie Church as well. And the unity celebrations with St Paul's and St Mackin's and Campsie churches will take place during the second week of March. And remember, by that time is the World Day of Prayer on Friday, March the 7th in St Mackin's Church, Lennoxtown at 7:30pm. Meantime, Cafe Connect is on Tuesdays 9:30am till 12 noon. The Guild meet at 2pm on Wednesday as well, when Alison Hepburn will speak about Glasgow Street Aid. And time to pray on Wednesdays at 7pm in the Eric Liddell room, followed by Kurt session at 8pm. On Friday at 6:15pm, the Boys Brigade, Anchor Boys and Junior Sections will meet. On Monday at 9:45am, Baby and Toddler Group, and also at 2pm, Hobbies Club as well. So there you have it. And let's not forget, 7:30pm, the Badminton Club. And now to Kirkintilloch, to Home Church, which is in Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch. And they also have a sister church in East End in Carmyle, and they're online as well. And it's a church for all ages. May the God of hope fill you with all the joy and peace, from Romans 15 verse 13. Sunday, January the 19th, 9:30am and 11:30am. They have two services, and both of them are the same. And these are followed by a warm welcome and refreshments. Then on Mondays, the ladies' prayer meeting at 7pm. Thursday is football. Friday, youth group, 7:30pm. Friday prayer meeting is also at 7:30pm. Home radio, that's a radio station that they broadcast 24/7. And you can hear my dulcet tones on a Monday night at 8 o'clock if you wish to hear it. Or if you don't, then there's many other programmes. It's on 24/7. And if you want to know any more about Home Church, check out their Instagram, their Home Church website, and the latest information about their sister churches as well. And then we move to Kirkintilloch Church of God at Regent Hall, Regent Street. On Wednesday, Coffee Corner is open from 12 noon to 2pm for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a coffee and a chat. All are welcome. Our next Sunday service is on Sunday, March the 2nd at 4pm. This will be a family-friendly praise event featuring the Kirkintilloch Praise Band, video presentations and speaker Dr. Carl Smith. A warm welcome is extended to everyone who's able to come along. For up-to-date and further information, check out their website, which is www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. You can find that in John 8:12. Now to Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship is at 11am. A creche is available for the children under 3. And the Quilt and Craft Group meet every Wednesday 10am to 12 noon in the session room. Thursday afternoon club is on Thursday. It's quite a good day to have a Thursday afternoon club on a Thursday. Yes, I like that. On February the 27th between 2 and 4pm. Enjoy tea, coffee, home baking, followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes, Rubik's Cube, or Rubik's Cube, whatever that is, or Uno. If preferred, you can sit back and chat or do your knitting. Yeah, that's quite good. You can sit there and chat and do your knitting. And I know lots of women like to do that. And men, not very men, but mostly women. And then, of course, a Scottish country dancing is on every Thursday, 7:15 to 9:30pm. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. You will be made very welcome. Yes, and now we go to Bishopbriggs to Kenmure Parish Church. In a change to their schedule, the Reverend Susan Anderson will now lead us in morning worship this Sunday beginning at 11am. Visitors to the area will be made welcome when they join us for our services. You can attend either in person or online on our YouTube channel. The services on YouTube can be watched live as it is streamed or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. There will also be a period of fellowship following the service in the hall when teas, coffees, juice and biscuits are served. The most up-to-date details of other groups that are currently running may be found on the What's On section of their website, kenmure-church.co.uk. And to find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. And if you'd like to join their WhatsApp group or receive Bible activities or Bible studies, then email kenmurechurch@icloud.com. And now back to Lenzie Union Parish Church. The Sunday service is at 11am and is led by John Nicholson. Young people are also welcome at Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service will be available on YouTube. We also have the meeting place open for teas and coffees and home baking every Wednesday 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the new hall. Everyone from the very young to young at heart is welcome to attend. We also have a good selection of greetings cards and second-hand books for sale. And also, there's a Lindsay Bridge Club is on Wednesdays in the Old Hall between 1 and 3 p.m. Come play this classic game. Then on Fridays, the Coffee Pot is open on Fridays, for teas and coffees and home baking. And this is also in the new hall. A one friendly welcome is for all and a great atmosphere there. And then there's also, of course, Art for Seniors, which is on Monday, the 24th of February at 1:30 p.m. in the new hall, enjoying creating a piece of art under the step-by-step guidance of artist Bev McCluskey. No experience needed. Contact Margaret on 0779 216 8826 to book your place. And if you want that number again, 07792 168 826 to book your place. The Guild Coffee Morning on Saturday, March the 1st is in the new hall between 10 and 12 noon. All are welcome. Tickets are £4. Home baking and bric-a-brac stalls will also be there. The service on Sunday, February the 21st, will begin as usual at 11 a.m. and be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. There will be age-appropriate activities as well in the church for young people in the church hall during the service. After the service, tickets will be on sale for the pancake lunch being held on Sunday, March the 9th. The tickets cost £1 plus a donation on the day. Lunch will consist of a savoury course followed by a pancake with a variety of accompanying fillings. Wednesday welcome continues on Wednesday, February the 19th from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m, followed by a short service taken by the Reverend Ruth Morrison. Tea, coffee and home baking are also there. And there's a warm welcome to any who wish to come along at this time. And we're also holding our first board games day. That's you play a board game like Cluedo, Dominoes, whatever. I suppose that's a board game. Yes, and that's going to be on Saturday, February the 22nd, and you'll be all invited to come along. Come along with your children, grandchildren, with a friend, or on your own. Enjoy playing various board games and fellowship together. Rolls with bacon or sausage will be available at lunchtime, and refreshments will be available throughout the day. Well, it sounds like it's worth going along for. If you're bored, go along there and play a board game. The fun starts at 11 a.m. and finishes at 1 p.m. Stay for the whole time or simply drop in for a quick game. Either way, you'll be most welcome. Hope to see you there. The next Open Doors Day will be on Wednesday, March the 5th, when the church will be open from 10 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. Tea, coffee and biscuits are also available during this time. From 12:30, we enjoy singing with the Kirkintilloch Ladies Choir. And then there's St David's Memorial Church, or SDMP as it's now known. We'd love you to join us. Yes, that's what it is. We'd love for you to join us this Sunday in what we are calling a chatty church service to be held in the church hall at 10:30 a.m. The hall will be laid out in a cafe style and the service will be led by worship leader Karen Wallace and will be very informal. Everyone will be most welcome to come along. There is a short service held every Tuesday at 12 noon in the church hall, which lasts for only 30 minutes. And afterwards, you're invited to stay for tea, coffee, and a chat. Every second Tuesday, we have a friendship club from 1:15 to 3:30 p.m, when you can bring your knitting, crocheting, etc., or just come for a blether. You'll be made very welcome. For most information, or more information that is, on any of these activities, yes, phone the church office at 0141 776 4989. And now, the Bishopbriggs St James Church in Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs, where the minister there is Paul Watson. There is a communion service in the chapel on Thursday, February the 20th at 11 a.m. and at 9 a.m. on Sunday, February the 23rd. The 10:30 a.m. communion service with hymns is in the church and on Zoom on Sunday. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of these services. Do stay on for tea, coffee and fellowship in the hall afterwards. And if you want to check them out more, go on their website, stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. And that's the church news for this week. Hopefully you find one of these interesting and hopefully maybe manage to go along to one of those churches. And always remember you're guaranteed a cup of tea and a biscuit. And sort of for me to go along as well. And if you have any comments about church news or any news that you'd like to input into this recording, then just contact us at Q and Review. We would love to hear from you. If any views, comments, or things you want us to air. So thank you for listening thus far. It's great to be here. And again, my name's Philip, and it's been a pleasure to share the local church news with you. God bless. Bye.
District News General. Holyrood View. Free school meals for all is the goal. Written by Ross Greer, MSP. Children can't learn if they're hungry, but that is a reality for far too many pupils across Scotland. Classroom hunger simply should not exist in a country as wealthy as ours, and last month I secured more money to end it for good. The Scottish Greens have championed universal free school meals for years. We secured the expansion to all primary 4 and 5 pupils, as well as the ongoing rollout to P6 and P7 children who receive the Scottish Child Payment. Now we are taking the next step. As the Scottish Greens budget negotiator, I have allocated millions of pounds to deliver more free school meals, this time to thousands of S1 to S3 pupils, who will receive the Scottish Child Payment, SCP, starting with 8 council areas in August. And I am hoping that Eastern Bartonshire will volunteer to be one of these first 8 areas. Sadly, 1 in 4 local children live in poverty. By signing up to be one of the first councils to receive more free meals for pupils, hundreds of high school pupils and their families will benefit. I visited schools in countries like Finland, where every kid gets a free healthy lunch, from preschool to the end of high school. The benefits of this are clear. Pupils find it easier to learn, behaviour is better, and there is none of the stigma which can come with means testing. Expanding free school meals isn't the only way Scottish Greens are helping children and families. A few years ago, I started to hear firsthand from teachers who dreaded having to chase their pupils for school meal debt. Not only does this cause anxiety and embarrassment for children and families who are already struggling, it creates an environment where young people are often hungry, embarrassed and stressed at school. I did the research to confirm the scale of this debt, then I secured enough money from the Scottish Government to cancel it completely last year. The only way to prevent this from happening again, though, is to expand free school meals to every pupil as quickly as possible. Each and every child in Scotland should have what they need to do well at school, including a free and healthy lunch, and I am proud that the Scottish Greens are delivering that. Society of Antiquaries. The next meeting of the Kirkintilloch and District Society of Antiquaries will be Members' Night on Thursday, February 20th at 7:30pm in the Park Centre. The theme this year is A Precious Thing. 5 speakers will give short presentations on this topic, interpreting it in whatever way they feel appropriate. Horticultural Society. At our last meeting held in January, Robert Sherlock treated us to a most interesting talk, plus enjoyable interactive session with members on the topic of fruit tree cultivation. Not only did he share a wealth of knowledge about the history of fruit tree cultivation, but spoke about the vast number of varieties grown and how long-lived they could be, given favourable conditions. He also demonstrated how to care for and prune fruit trees using a number of potted specimens he had brought along with him. We are now looking forward to our annual dinner on Thursday, February the 27th at the Broadcroft Hotel. Our next meeting at Enterprise House will be on Thursday, March the 20th, when Jim Germain will be telling us about the Branklin Garden. New members are always welcome and can contact Paul Malcolm on 0141 578 1520 or visit www.kirkintillochhorty.org.uk. That's KIRKINTILLOCHHORTI.org.uk. St Columba's Men's Club. At 7:30pm every Monday, St Columba's Men's Club meets in the Church Hall in Old Isle Road, Kirkintilloch, and offers a very warm welcome, together with the chance to play a bit of pool or snooker, dominoes, or even some table tennis, or just enjoy a cup of coffee or tea and a chat. Members come from all around. If you would like more details, contact either Ian Gibb on 0141 776 5453 or Jim Kennedy on 07767 124 416. Gaelic Week comes to Glasgow. Suggestion na Gaelic World Gaelic Week, pronounced badly, I apologise, has unveiled details of its most diverse, ambitious and largest programme to date, bringing together speakers, learners and enthusiasts from across Scotland and beyond. Taking place from February the 24th to March the 2nd, the theme is Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs, apparently pronounced Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs, which signifies building connections in English. A wide range of events are set to take place, all united by the common bond that demonstrates the linguistic, cultural and human connections that language forges, with a range of programme highlights in Glasgow. For full details, go to https://shashdainaganish.scot. That's SEACHDAINAGIHLIG.SCOT. Let's Dance 2025. The Borough Collection, Pollock Country Park, 2060 Pollockshires Road, Bellahouston, Glasgow, G43 1AT. Sunday, March the 2nd, 11am till 12 noon and 1:15pm till 2:15pm. The Circle Dancers are delighted to be participating in this nationwide event to encourage as many people as possible to experience the joy of dance. The campaign is spearheaded by Angela Rippon. It has been supported by the Council for Dance, Drama and Musical Theatre, the Sport and Recreation Alliance, Intelligent Health, Age UK and many other excellent organisations that promote dance as an activity that tackles chronic health challenges and combats loneliness. This event is aimed at everyone, regardless of fitness level, age or experience, ensuring accessibility for all. We invite you to come and join our circle. No mistakes, merely variations. Buchan 150 Lecture. On March 11th, Professor Murray Pittock will deliver the Buchan 150 Lecture at the University of Glasgow as part of that institution's celebrations for the 150th anniversary of John Buchan's birth. It promises to be an unmissable insight from one of Scotland's leading academics in the fields of Scottish literature and history. 5:30pm till 7:30pm. Tickets available from Eventbrite. Scottish Quilting Show, a fabulous showcase of the finest patchwork and quilting and highlights of the wonderful work of Scottish quilters. This year celebrates our 10th anniversary. Enjoy exciting exhibitions that encourage all aspects of this delightful and wonderfully creative art form. There's talks, competitions, demonstrations and workshops. A true patchwork paradise. March the 6th to the 8th at the SEC. Tickets at www.thequiltingshow.co.uk. And that's this week's District News Journal, date Wednesday the 19th of February. Sport. Climber receives Festival Award. Report by Brian Yule. Organisers of the Fort William Mountain Festival has named Hannah Smith as a 11th recipient of the Scottish Youth Award for Excellence in Mountain Culture. The 22-year-old from Muirhead became a member of the Glasgow Climbing Centre youth squad at an early age and within a year was called up to the junior GB climbing team. She would then spend the next 8 years representing Team GB at junior and senior level, with junior British bouldering and league climbing champion among her top achievements. While struggling with sport climbing during the pandemic, Smith was invited to join GB climbing as a coach for the junior team, the youngest to coach at international level. A few years later, Hannah wanted to continue coaching at the same time as pursuing her passion for literature, moving back to Scotland to study, and taking up a coaching role with the Climb Scotland Talent Squad. After achieving an undergraduate Master of Arts in English Literature at Edinburgh University last summer, Smith is now completing a professional graduate diploma in education to become a secondary school English teacher. She understands roles as both coach and teacher are fundamentally about building relationship with the young people she works with, supporting them and motivating them to reach their full potential. Smith said, "I'm deeply honoured to receive this award. This recognition is incredibly meaningful at this point in my life as it celebrates my journey as an athlete and coach. I'm especially proud to be part of the Scottish competition climbing community, who often have unique challenges, but are such a supportive and connected group of people. I hope my experiences show them that, with determination and perseverance, they can achieve their goals. It's a privilege to contribute to a community that has given me so much over the years." Smith's Award, sponsored by UHI North, West and Hebrides, was celebrated at the Fort William Mountain Festival Climbing Night on Saturday. This included a presentation and short film highlighting the significant contribution she has made to both sport climbing and coaching. In 2020, Smith not only appeared on BBC Scotland's Adventure Show, but she was also chosen to be the Sport Scotland Young People's Sport panel. This provides a national platform to represent the voice of young people across Scotland, both to help influence and shape the future of sport and to raise the profile of sport. Anna Danby, the Fort William Mountain Festival coordinator, said, "Congratulations to Hannah Smith on the Youth Award. It is obvious to see from Hannah's relatively short career to date that she has always been fired up by her own goals. Whether that be as a competitive climber, a highly motivating youth climbing coach, or an English teacher, she is always working hard for the benefit of others to meet these goals, and never allowing anything to knock her drive to succeed. It is obvious Hannah has put considerable energy into sharing her passion and skills for climbing, while contributing a huge amount to the climbing community at a very young age." And that article was written by Brian Yule and read by Ian McKenna. Speedway. Young Tigers are going for your under-21's glory on home shale. This article is unattributed. Glasgow Tigers will have at least 2 riders going for the British under-21 title on home shale this spring. Dan Thompson and Ashton Bogan have been seeded directly to the final when the championship is hosted at Ashfield for a third successive season on May 18th. It will be a huge opportunity for pre-meeting favourites Thompson and Bogan to take the trophy for the first time. They could yet be joined by another young Tigers duo, Freddie Hodder and Max Perry, who will compete in the qualifier in April, so Glasgow could be well represented. Great Britain youth boss Neil Vatcher said, "A couple of clubs were willing to host this year's event, so thank you to those clubs for the offer. After consultation with the British Speedway promoters, it has been agreed for Glasgow to again be the hosts. Anyone that witnessed the finals both in 2023 and 2024 by attending in person or watching on the British Speedway network will know what great events these have been. We all know that the Glasgow track produces such good racing. I genuinely believe the talent we have at under 21 level improves each and every year, so again, I am sure this will be another classic." The Young Lions would like to thank the Glasgow promotion and their owners for the continued support of British Youth Speedway. The British Under-21's final takes place just 6 days before the FIM SGP2 qualifiers, with one of the rounds also at Ashfield. Worst that John's seen at Rob Roy. Report by Brian Yule. Kirkintilloch Rob Roy dropped back into the bottom 3 in the West of Scotland First Division, with a 3-1 away defeat to Kilburnie Ladeside. The visitors' boss, John Gibson, described the first half as the worst I've seen of us, and it got off to the worst possible start. With less than a minute on the clock, Kilburnie were ahead through Gavin Miller, and Sam McCloy doubled their lead after 12 minutes. Gibson made changes at half-time, admitting we couldn't get any worse, and Rob Roy pulled themselves back into the game. With 8 minutes to go, Jordan Scott struck from the penalty spot, but Kilburney wrapped up the points in injury time, with Graham Boyd also scoring from the spot. Gibson told the club's YouTube channel, "It wasn't good enough. We were 2 goals down within the first 12 minutes, and that's an uphill struggle. We did not look like we have in our last 3 or 4 games. Our passing wasn't right, our pressing wasn't right, and we were second to every ball. We did nothing in the first 45 minutes and told them at half time we couldn't get any worse because that's the worst I've seen us, and it's not acceptable. We made a few changes and got a wee foothold in the game and probably deserved it when we got that penalty, but in the first half and even for the first 60 minutes it was not good enough. To win games you need at least 7 of your players on top of their game, and we had none. Everybody was bad at the same time. It was a bad day all round in the First Division, as Petershill lost 4-2 at home to Ardross and Winton Rovers, and Ashfield were beaten 3-1 away to St Roch's. Finnart lost 2-1 at home to Lugar Boswell Thistle in the Third Division, while the Fourth Division saw Rossville draw 3-3 as it hosted Saltcoats Victoria, and West Park United draw 2-2 at Royal Albert. Saturday fixtures: First Division, Kirkintilloch Robroy vs Kilwinning Rangers, Ashfield vs Petershill. Second Division, Caledonian Locomotives vs Bellshill Athletic. Third Division, Finnart vs Glasgow University, Vale of Leaving vs Glasgow Perthshire. Fourth Division, East Kilbride Thistle v Rossvale, West Park United vs Easterhouse. And that report was written by Brian Yule. City supports Glasgow Women's Aid campaign. Report by Brian Yule. Glasgow City strengthened its partnership with Glasgow Women's Aid by supporting the launch of the charity's He Loves Me Not campaign. This new initiative follows on from City's #NoExcuse campaign, which aimed to highlight the global drive, led by UN Women, to end all violence against women and girls by 2030. The He Loves Me Not campaign challenges the traditional notions of love and romance, highlighting how these ideals can be manipulated to mask coercive control. To announce the campaign, last week representatives from Glasgow's Women's Aid visited training to meet the squad and share the message ahead of City hosting Celtic on Friday night in the SWPL 1. The campaign message was presented both in the Matchday magazine, distributed free to supporters, and with LED messaging throughout the game, which was broadcast live on the BBC Scotland channel. Glasgow Women's Aid CEO Angela Devine said, "The partnership between Glasgow Women's Aid and Glasgow City for the He Loves Me Not campaign is a powerful statement of solidarity and shared commitment to combat violence against women and girls. By harnessing the visibility of Glasgow City, we can raise much needed awareness to reinforce the message that there is no justification for abuse." City Chief Executive Laura Montgomery added, "The responsibility to use our platform to highlight issues that affect women and girls is one we take seriously. Partnering with Glasgow Women's Aid on their He Loves Me Not campaign not only strengthens our partnership with a local charity that puts these groups at the heart of what they do, but it also reinforces our message that there is no excuse for violence against women and girls." City were held 2-2 by Celtic as they were knocked off the top of the table in goal difference by Rangers, but the top 4, which now includes Hibs, are now sitting on 51 points. The visitors took the lead after less than a minute played, when Amy Gallagher swept the ball home from the edge of the area. However, on 24 minutes, Amy Muir celebrated her recall to the national team when she drilled her shot through a sea of bodies to equalise. 5 minutes later, City were ahead, with Nicole Kozlova picking the ball up 20 yards out and curling her effort into the top corner. 7 minutes after the break, Celtic earned a share of the spoils when Maria McInerney got the better of Ailey Gambon and her shot looped past Lee Gibson. City now have a break as Scotland's women travel to Austria on Friday and then to host the Netherlands on Tuesday in the Nations League. Rossville women stayed off the foot of the SWPL2 table with a 2-2 draw at home to bottom side Ayr United. They sit 2 points ahead of United and 2 points behind St Johnstone in the bid to beat the drop. Following the international break, the action resumes on March the 2nd, with City hosting Motherwell and Rossvale at Livingston. And that article was written by Brian Yule.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.